Hi, Rimantas Petrauskas here, and today I want to announce a huge thing for the Signal Magician software. I have just released a new version 1.9.8 with a performance billing plugin and high watermark functionalities. Now, of course, there are much more improvements in the software, but this one, I gotta say, I've spent kind of half a year working just on this one to make it perfect. Now, Signal Magician offers performance billing, which can calculate monthly performance fees on every managed trading account based on a high watermark method. It also includes basic affiliate tracking functions, the enhanced security functions, EA licensing module, and many more. So Signal Magician is now better than ever. So I want to take a look with you and kind of show what's inside this presentation and what new Signal Magician features you can expect after upgrading. Now, the list is quite big, So those are the new features, like mentioned performance billing, the sign-in code, Stripe integration upgraded. I've added offers, the MailChimp integration upgraded, enhanced data center connection. The algorithm for the connection was improved to work better on low quality internet connections. Now the trade filters for signal providers, the payments and subscriptions list, basic affiliate functionality, CA licensing module, which can protect your M24 apps with a license key. This one is sold separately, and I will talk more about it later. And the Signal Magician is finally PHP 7 ready. Well, there are a few strings attached to that, so stick to this presentation to know more about this. Now, of course, there are some more improvements that are kind of smaller, but really help you with the everyday management of your copy trading business, which is displaying of IP address and the username from where your EA connected, and all kind of things. So I could go on and on this list, but I want to take a look and discuss every single feature of So stick with me, and I will go through each of them one by one. Now, first, I will start with the performance billing. This one is based on a high watermark. I will be making a video just alone on performance billing, and I will definitely create some nice presentation, like a scheme to explain how this works. So that performance billing plugin calculates monthly performance fees for each trading account based on a high watermark method. So all the calculations include deposits and withdrawals to make it fair for the customer and the trader. The performance billing plugin recalculates high watermark with every deposit or withdrawal, and in case of a losing month, the system will set a carry forward loss, which is what the trader needs to make back in order to collect future performance fees. So just to mention, important to mention that the deposit and withdrawals are taken into account during the calculation of performance fees of the second day of each month. So it's not that a withdrawal happened and the high watermark is recalculated. We do this end of the month kind of. So you can set up performance fees you are going to charge every month, for example 20%, and there's even an option to set individual fee size for each customer should you want to charge them more or less than others. So as you can see, it's really offers lots of options. So PB plugin uses all trades uploaded to the Signal Magician web panel by the client EA to calculate performance fees. So it will not take third-party trades into an account. So if you have other systems trading on the client's account, or maybe he's trading manual as well, so it doesn't matter if he makes more money or if he loses half of what you've earned for him, you will still get performance fees calculated on the trades that the client EA made. So if you made $1,000 for a customer and he just blew all this up with his own trades, he will still have to pay for those trades and performance fee of the on them, because it's not your fault that he blowed it up. And if the client makes extra 5 grand, let's say, he don't pay performance fees on that, obviously, because it's not your trades. So it's really fair for everyone. The system tracks the high watermark level for each trading account to make it fair for the customers and not charge them for the months when no net profit was made. So this is another thing that makes it fair for a customer. And also PB plugin performs performance fee calculations on the second day of each month and includes all uploaded client TA transactions from the previous month. Also, you can export performance fees to a CSV file, so you can upload it to accounting software like Xero or any other accounting software which accepts CSV files. Lots of platforms accept CSV files for import. If you don't have your own accounting software, then PB plugin can also create invoices for each customer on the Signal Magician system. So when customers pay the invoices outside the system through a bank transfer and the payment system, you can go and mark those invoices as paid on the Signal Magician system. So the client will see the list of invoices for the performance fees, and the ones that are not paid, he will have to pay them, and if he didn't, you have the right to stop his service or whatever. So I believe this is very useful. Important to note that Signal Magician currently doesn't have any notification system about performance fees invoices. So if the invoice is created or invoice is not paid on time, Signal Magician doesn't notify customers about it. So you should connect it with probably MailChimp and upload your contacts for Signal Magician and email your customers that we have new invoices ready, please do pay them. But in the near future, we're adding this feature, as we have to do integration for mass mailing, because sending a few emails for sign in or whatever is not a problem. But when when Signal Magician has to send thousands and thousands of emails within a few minutes, that becomes a really, really big issue, and we have to first create some integrations to make this possible. And also, if you're using Stripe and have it connected with your Signal Magician, then customers can pay performance fees invoices with a bank card, and they will be automatically marked as paid on the system. So if you're using Stripe, then this makes it even simple. But if you don't use Stripe, your clients can still pay you through other systems, maybe bank transfer, PayPal, or whatever payment forms you accept, or maybe they pay you in cash, I don't know. So, but once they pay you, you can go and mark invoices as paid. Okay, so I'm really sure that you will find this performance billing thing really, really useful. But now on the screen, you see the performance fees. Those are hypothetical results just from one of the accounts. And basically what I want to show you is that it has multiple columns, and this is generated for the October in this example. It was generated for September in October on the second day of October. So every month on the second day of the month, the performance fees are automatically calculated for the previous month. Now, why the second of the month and not the first day? Well, there are different brokers with different time zones, and on the first day of the month, for some brokers it might still be September, while for others it's already October. So we wait another extra 24 hours and calculate performance fees on the second day of October, just to make sure that every possible connected broker to the Signal Magician platform is already rolled to the October, and September trades won't change, So as the performance fees are calculated, obviously the high watermark is important here. But what's more important is the carry forward loss. You can see this column right here. If it's 0, it means everything above the high water mark will be used for calculation of the performance fees. And if the carry forward loss is negative, it means that previous months there was a loss made for the account. So now first the manager has to make enough profit to make that carry forward loss to 0, and only then it will be it will get calculated performance fees. So deposit and withdrawals also are recorded to the Signal Magician. So every time a deposit or withdrawal happens on the account of every client, that information will get to the Signal Magician, and it will be used for calculating of the high watermark. Now, client might deposit more funds, so his watermark will get higher, and he might withdraw some funds, so his watermark becomes smaller. So this we use to calculate everything precisely, and we've tested it a lot, and we already have quite a big businesses managing tens of millions of dollars of client funds and already working with performance fees. So it works very precisely, and if the client deposit or withdraws fees, it doesn't matter, as it doesn't affect the performance fees or the gain or the loss or high water mark, and everything, it works smoothly. And the client, it's kind of, we made it fair for the client and for the manager, because the client pays the fees only on the profit, and the manager gets paid only if he makes the profit. Now, addition to the performance fees, we can still use a fixed monthly fee or one-time entry fee. It's for you to decide. You can still have connection with PayPal, Stripe, or ClickBank, or so basically this allows you to charge, for example, monthly fee for maybe kind of a maintenance fee. Others call the management fee. Others call it hosting fee. So you could charge like $10 or $15 monthly for hosting MetaTrader, for example, and that is charged fixed fee whether the client makes profit or not, and the rest is just charged based on the performance fees. Though the bigger the account, the more money you make, the more performance fees you earn. So it makes it fair, and this also works with the affiliate plugin. So your affiliates can get paid a share on the performance fees. So let's say you charge performance fee of 20% and then give 50% of affiliate commission on that. So if a manager makes $1,000 for the client, the manager gets 200, which is 20%, and 50% of that, which is $100, goes to the affiliates. That is possible and already implemented in the Signal Magician. Now, the next thing is the dashboard with the assets under management and a performance fee, performance summary, not performance fee, sorry, performance of your managers, of your Signal providers, and everything is grouped by a currency. So obviously you can have, you will have clients with different currency accounts like Euro, SGD, GBP, Australian dollar, and so on. So you have to have all the stats for each currency separately. We can't just combine everything in one and do the conversions and whatever. That's not how it should work. So we've made it right, and now you can have you can kind of see how many assets under management you have exactly. So the new Signal Magician wants you to know how well you are doing with your copy trading business. For this reason, you can see how many assets under management you currently have and what your trading performance is. The system, as mentioned, the system groups all statistics by currency. So if you have trading accounts with different currencies, no worries, you will see this in multiple categories as you see in this example screenshot. Now, what else? The sign-in code by email. So currently I'm also working to make this possible through the SMS messages, but for now it's still it's already available through email. So this one is really big thing, I would say, because this kind of raises security standards. It puts a extra security layer to protect user accounts. You can enable the sign-in code only when all user accounts have a valid email addresses assigned. But I believe in the future I will make this a bit different. Even if the client doesn't have an email account assigned yet, during his login, the system will ask for an email address. So he can give an email address and then it will be stored on the database and further will be used for any important notifications and so on. So this kind of solves another problem. If a client is created, you create a username or a client signs up and his email is incorrect or whatever. So during the sign-in, he will be able to provide another account. Okay, so what else? Another important thing to mention is that you can enable the sign-in code feature for everyone or everyone excluding administrator accounts. So for yourself, you can do the login without the sign-in code, but for others it will be mandatory, or you can disable this feature at all. It's for you to decide, So basically, and if you didn't get yet how this works, so it's really simple, and I'm sure you've already seen something like that on many other websites. But basically, when users try to sign into their account, the system will email them a one-time authentication code. The sign-in will be approved only when the user enters the code into the sign-in form. Okay, so next we will look at the Stripe integration. It was upgraded to have basically to allow ability to work with 3D Secure version 2, which is a new regulation in the Europe. So as of September 2019, a regulation called Strong Customer Authentication, or SCA for short, and it requires businesses in Europe to request additional customer authentication for online payments. It's like when you're trying to make a payment, you will be asked for something you already know. It's kind of a code on your mobile app, or something like a fingerprint, or something like that. So this is already taking place in Europe. Not sure about other places of the world, but I'm sure this will get worldwide soon enough. And Stripe now fully supports SCA, and Stripe integration with Signal Magician has been rebuilt to support SCA as well. So basically, if you were already using Stripe, as this was rolled out in some previous versions for some clients already, so if you're already using Stripe, you have to kind of reconfigure your integration a bit, and you will have to read a new integration tutorial I've prepared and change it as well to match the new upgrades, basically. Okay, the next big thing is offers. And offers is kind of an easy way of connecting your website payment links with Signal Magician. Now, previously, some of you might remember that previously, to connect, like for example PayPal with Signal Magician, you had to make some changes in the configuration file on your web server, and it's embarrassing. But now I've made this really convenient, and it's really extendable, and I'm sure you will, it will fit everyone's needs basically. And offers, tell Signal Magician which products or services it should enable when a customer purchases through your website. So it's like if you have an offer to enable, let's say, 2 Signal providers, you can connect that offer with PayPal, ClickBank, and Stripe as well. And while each platform will have different plan ID or subscription ID because they all use different kind of methods for that, but you will be able to connect it with one offer, which makes it easy. And should you need another offer, let's say one with a trial access, another one without the trial access, and so on, so you can have just multiple offers and connect them with multiple Signal subscription IDs, or so I'm sure you will find it really useful. And I've prepared a really long and a step-by-step tutorial for each connection, like Stripe, PayPal, and ClickBank. Every one of these connections have their own tutorial, and even though it's long, if you've seen one of at least one of my tutorials, you see how long they are, but I've put everything you need to know in that tutorial. So just take your time, read it, and you will learn everything you need to know, and everything you need for that connection. The next new thing is really awesome, and this one is a trade filters for Signal providers. So in the new Signal Magician, admins can create trade filter rules to delay trades from Signal providers. Now at the moment there are 2 filters available. Followers can ignore X open trades per pair, or followers start copying trades only when Signal provider account is an X amount of drawdown in percentage. Now, as I give you an example for the first filter, let's say you set to ignore first 2 open trades per pair, and as you can see in the example, you can the amount might be different. Let's say ignore first 2 trades for euro dollar and 1 open trade for pound dollar, and this means that client won't copy any trades from euro dollar until it has at least 3 open trades, which is more than 2. So you ignore 2 open trades, and the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and so on trade will be copied. So this is very useful when you have like a grid trading strategy. So when when the Signal provider is stacking orders one after another, but you don't want to get involved in the first few orders and just involved later. Okay, so the percentage, the drawdown thing is really good as well. This one is for example, you set to copy trades only when a Signal provider is in a 20% drawdown, and this would be kind of equivalent to the Signal provider's account equity being at 80% of the balance or below. So if the drawdown is 20% or more, only then client account will start copying the trades, which makes it quite a good thing for many Signal providers, as you've been asking for this quite for a long time enough now. So let's take a look at the next thing, and that will be payments and subscriptions list. So every payment and every subscription created is now stored on Signal Magician. And the information obviously comes from the integrated payment processor like Stripe or PayPal. And important to mention that previously created payments and subscriptions won't appear on the Signal Magicians, but as the new notifications comes from your Stripe or your PayPal or ClickBank through their webhooks, that information will be stored. So even if you have existing subscriptions, they will appear on the Signal Magician later if at least one more payment arrives from them. So this is how it will work. And later, starting from now, let's say you upgraded to new version today, so starting now, you will see that every new subscription created appears on your Signal Magician, and clients can see that as well. And if you have integration with Stripe, then you or customers can even cancel the subscription through the panel, which makes it more convenient and less work for you, because most of the customers won't bother you anymore. Then please cancel this subscription, please cancel that subscription. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one, and this one is affiliate functionalities with automatic payout calculation. Now, please don't get confused. It doesn't do actual payouts automatically. It's a payout calculation that's automatic. So it means that you will set how often you want payouts to be calculated, let's say weekly, and how many days must be passed after the purchase to allow for a refund, let's say 45 days. And every payment eligible at, let's say, every Monday for payout will get calculated, and will appear in your affiliate commissions and clients affiliate commissions table. And you will have to do the payout manually through the channels that's convenient for you. Let's say it might be bank transfer or PayPal or whatever you're doing. And then you go to Signal Magician and mark that payout as paid. So this puts a bit of manual work as well, but face it, we just can't get in your Stripe or PayPal account and do the payouts, not speak about your bank account. So that won't happen. You won't let us in, and that integration would be too complicated. So you have to make payouts manually and mark them as paid on the system. Now, how does this affiliate tracking work? So let's talk more about this. It's kind of Signal Magician provides you with a customized HTML code for your PayPal hosted buttons. So for now, this works with PayPal buttons only, but later we will add this for Stripe as well. For ClickBank, it's not necessary to have basic or whatever affiliate functionalities, because ClickBank does that automatically on their own platform. So we won't integrate anything with ClickBank regarding affiliates, but we will do some more work to make this work with Stripe as well. But currently this works with PayPal hosted buttons, and the code that Signal Magician provides you is very similar to what PayPal gives you, but it just adds some extra line or two. And this code creates tracking cookies for tracking affiliate, kind of which affiliate partner you must reward with commissions for the sale. So the cookie gets recognized automatically upon the purchase and gets and the affiliate gets a record on his affiliate commission table that he made a sale and here's the commission he received and so on. So if the sale is for a recurring product, the Signal Magician affiliate system will keep assigning each recurring payment for the same affiliate partner until the end of that particular subscription. So people get paid for as long as their referred customer will keep paying you for your services. So that's very good for affiliates, because everyone's now interested in recurring revenue. So I believe this will help you attract more affiliates. And important to know that affiliate program in the Signal Magician does not do payouts to your affiliates as mentioned before. Okay, so what's else important? If for some reason or a customer gets attached to the wrong affiliate admin can change this, and this would take effect for any upcoming sales. So let's say you had a partner who introduced a customer, but somehow a customer as well clicked on another link from another email, because at the same time multiple affiliates were promoting promoting your services, and customer received 2 emails, and he clicked a link in one email and signed up, but he actually had to be referred from by another affiliate, because it was the arrangement way before the promotion or whatever. So if you know that this is fair, that this customer should be under another affiliate, you can do the change manually yourself in the system. Now obviously affiliates or the customers cannot make that change, but admins can. So this is possible, should you worry about it. And also you can set a different percentage share for each affiliate, or use the default percentage share. So you can have a default, let's say, of 50%, and then maybe some affiliates you want to reward only 30%, while others maybe 75%. So that's for you to decide, and this is possible to set. Important to note that affiliate tools in Signal Magician are quite basic, and they do not offer any detailed reports or statistics. But as you can see, even from this example, admin and affiliates can see how many sales they made, and the amount of money they've earned, and how much you owe to your affiliate. So as mentioned, every week it will be calculated, and it will show you payout, and you'll have to do that manually. We call them payout tickets. So it's kind of Signal Magician create these payout tickets, and you have to make the payment and mark as paid, or Okay, so next, PHP 7 ready. So in 2019 alone, lots of web servers got upgraded and now using PHP 7 instead of an older PHP 5.6 or even older. Obviously PHP 7 arrived way before 2019, but it's kind of becoming a new standard now. And even though many web servers still running 5.6, and I believe this will be for another maybe 1 or maybe even 2 years, but we had to make the switch and already, and I promised you to talk about one problem which arises from this. You see, the Signal Magician uses MemCache. That's a module for caching the information that the Signal Magician takes from the database. If not a memcache, it would be kind of impossible to use the system, because you would need so big and powerful servers, and MySQL database would just eat up all the resources basically, and that's not a wise thing. And we have memcache, and memcache is really good software for that. And some years ago even Facebook were using that basically, but I think recently they switched to a few years ago they switched to a more maybe modern programming languages, but during the first few years they used memcached as well. So basically it's a really well-known program among developers, and we're using it too. Now the problem is that PHP 7 it doesn't work with memcache on all the web servers. Now don't ask me why, I'm not that tech savvy even on these things myself, but what I understand from speaking with different hosting providers is that not all hosting providers has smart enough IT team because, for example, I'm on a Liquid Web service and they find zero problems implementing Memcache with PHP 7. They just did it and they said, hey, yeah, it's a bit challenging, but let us do the work. And they just did it and it works and it's fine. Now, it doesn't work with PHP 7.2 or higher, but it works with PHP 7.0. So that's enough for now. And you know, I'm already using this and I have a few clients that are already using that as well. But many clients find a problem because their hosting providers couldn't integrate PHP 7 with Memcache. So not sure why, whether they're lazy, or they don't know much, or I don't know. But basically what we've learned is that there are some other things we might add to the Signal Magician which will help with this, so we're looking this into the future. But for now, if you want to upgrade to PHP 7, just please double check with your hosting provider if they can install a so-called php-memcache module, the one without a D at the end, because there is another module, php-memcache D at the end. So we'll be working to integrate with this one. But php-memcache without a D at the end is what you need with the PHP 7 at the moment. So double check if your web server can do that. If not, we can recommend you another hosting provider, or if your hosting provider is forcing you to upgrade to PHP 7 and they can provide php-memcache module with that, then we can obviously recommend you another hosting provider as well. So just contact me about that and I will see how I can help you. So next big thing is the EA licensing module. And this one helps you protect MT4 apps with the license key that can have an expiration date. This one is sold separately. Important to understand that it doesn't come with the upgrade. Every other feature and improvement you saw and see today is available with the new upgrade. But this one, EA licensing, I'll be honest, I spent 1.5 years, 1.5 years working just on this licensing module alone, and it's still getting developed, and improved every month. So basically, it cost me so much money and so much time to develop this that I have to sell it separately. And because it's not what everybody needs, not everybody gets it as well. So if you need this, contact me and I'll provide you with an offer to buy this. But for now, we're selling this as for lifetime users, basically. And for those who have already annual plans of Signal Magician, you can purchase it too. There are a few strings attached, but yeah, just contact me and I'll tell you more about that. I don't want to discuss pricing here because that might change in the future. It might become more expensive or something like that. And, I don't want this pricing information to make this video obsolete. So basically, let's talk about your licensing module. As mentioned before, it protects your MT4, allows you to protect MT4 expert advisors and indicators with a license key, which has an expiry date and which is limited to work only on a certain amount of MetaTrader accounts. So you can say, okay, this EA and this particular license can work on, let's say, 5 MetaTrader accounts only. If user uses all 5 available activations, he can disable some, let's say number 1 and 2, because he doesn't have those accounts already, the expired demo. So he can add 2 new accounts, but in total it's always 5 at the same time. So that's how it works. And as mentioned, it comes an addition module for the Signal Magician system, sold separately, and all customers can have access to any of your expert advisors, indicators, or copy trading signals because everything is on the same portal. At first I've tried to create this as a separate product, but then I thought, man, it's, Signal Magician already has all the integrations, well, PayPal and MailChimp and Stripe and so on. Why am I creating a new platform? And I've just integrated this into Signal Magician, and this made things a lot more convenient for everyone. So now you can have multiple services and products to offer for your customers. Like, for example, Mark, your customer, purchases only EA and he won't get access to Trade Copper signals. But if John subscribes only to a Trade Copper, he won't get the EA, let's say super trend EA, let's call it that way. And of course, users will be able to purchase access to multiple services too, so they can enjoy your Trade Copper signals, expert advisors, and indicators at the same time under one username. So this really makes convenient for customers and you and me, and it's a win-win-win kind of. So the EA licensing system is fully automated, and you can connect it with Stripe, ClickBank, and PayPal hosted buttons. And right after purchase, a welcome email is sent automatically with the information on how to access the product. So the customer immediately gets access after the purchase. This makes it a perfect sales system because nobody wants to wait for someone to send him a purchase, the next day or another day, whatever. So everyone wants to purchase and get it now. So to protect your EAs and indicators with a license key, you will have to link them with the Signal Magician system by adding a special MQL code snippet to your EA. Signal Magician, basically EA licensing module, will generate you that MQL code snippet. But important to mention that you do not need to reveal your EA source code to anyone, including me or our team or whatever. You keep your source code secret with you, which means EA will be locked per M24 account basis, and you can set the amount of how many accounts are allowed for each license to use. And because you keep the source code on your computer and we don't want to see it, you don't have to send it to us. You will have to add that snippet yourself. So it's really easy, trust me. And we prepared a long step-by-step tutorial as well of how to connect everything and how to protect your just browse around the signalmagician.com tutorial section and you will see it. Okay, so I think we've done with these big features now, and let's look at the smaller ones. So there are much more improvements, as I mentioned, and let's take a closer look at them. So first one is that Signal Magician now displays a username and IP address of last EA connection. So just imagine when you know the IP address and the Windows username of the VPS server or a computer on which the client EA or your server EA is running, it makes it very convenient to locate it. This is very useful when you are hosting lots of MetaTrader terminals yourself and manage lots of VPS servers. So we have clients that have literally hundreds of MetaTraders on dozens of VPS servers. So this makes it really convenient because you know the IP address, where to connect, and a username. Because when you have to host like 100 MetaTraders on a dedicated VPS server, you can't do this on one user. You'll have to create multiple users. So this is really useful for those hosting lots of MetaTraders. Another thing is that Signal Magician now displays a floating profit loss and open trades of MetaTrader in real time. Now, what I mean by real time is not that you see the screen and then that, everything's changing. I didn't went that far, but basically every time you refresh or load the page, it will have an up-to-date, and by up-to-date information I mean like 1 or 2 seconds old, so it's really recent, close to real time, if so to speak. And this works only if your Signal Magician is using MemCache. If for some reason you have it working without MemCache, the information will be delayed by around 60 seconds. But with MemCache, this is kind of 1 second or 2 seconds old always. So always see the most recent information. Really useful for customers and yourself to see the what's going on the client's account. Okay, so the next thing is that I think I already mentioned before when speaking about the performance billing plugin. But the thing is that Signal Magician is now stores MT4 deposit and withdrawal information on the trade history page. So this helps you know when and how much of your customers deposit or withdraw the money from the account. And this information also essential for the performance billing plugin for calculating high watermark for each account. Now, another feature is that MT4 passwords that are stored on the Signal Magician database are now encrypted. Encrypted, I mean that on the database. So if for some strange reason somehow someone will hack in your server and steals the database, so now you can be relaxed that passwords will not get revealed. So all the passwords are not are encrypted, and it will take ages to decrypt them without a security phrase which is stored safely on your web server in the PHP code, which is not visible to public basically. So it makes the system much more secure right now. Okay, so that's how we also, that's one more thing how the Signal Magician raised the standard for, for the security. Okay, so another thing is that you can create invisible supervisor account. This is really important if you have, let's say, other admin users as well. And as you know, every admin have the same rights. So if you're an admin, you can cut all other admins out. So, so this kind of makes it a bit of a complex thing, because if you get someone on your team that wants to play on you, he can cut you off, and so I really hope that won't happen in your team. But should it happen, you can have a supervisor account which is not visible to admin, so they might not even know about it if you don't tell them. So the idea of invisible supervisor account is to have a control of every other account on the SM panel, and this account, nobody can cut it off from the system. So admins can cut other users off, but they can't cut off the supervisor. So really useful. And as usual, I've prepared a tutorial on how to create supervisor account and how to use it. So you should check that out as well. Now, another useful thing which is available for supervisor accounts only, but really useful, is that you can restrict from what IP addresses your admin accounts can log in. So, and you can enable this for each and every admin, or just some of the admins you have, and enter IP addresses from where are they allowed to log in. So if you're afraid that someone can steal your admin password or your team's admin password and access your Signal Magician panel, then you'll love this new security add-on. this one is hidden from everyone except supervisor account, as mentioned. And when you log in as a supervisor, you'll be able to create a list of IP addresses, kind of a trusted IP addresses, and admins will be able, allowed to access system only from these IP addresses. So if your admin, let's say, always connecting from home and from his office, you add like 2 or 3 or whatever IP addresses you need, and that's it. So just be careful to not to cut yourself out and add your own IP address as well. Okay, so let's go next, and the next one is the Signal Magician now allows setting a maximum lot allocation allowed. So when you're using simple settings, this doesn't work in advanced settings, which, by the way, I really want to retire in the next versions, but still deciding on this one. But simple settings are really not complicated and makes things really easy for Signal providers and clients. But the problem we saw is that how to say it, I've seen it just too many times. Basically, customers set a too high risk on their trading account, and that becomes one of the main reasons they lose money. And while you had just a 10% drawdown, it appeared that they got a margin call and stop out because they risked like 5x, and there was not enough margin. And they will just then come around the online communities and post wrong things about you, saying how bad you are and so on. But in reality, it's their fault that they set too high risk. So we made an option for you to set a limit for this. So I would recommend setting this to 100%, and that's it. And clients can have a smaller risk, but they can have higher risk than your account is having. So I believe it's better to have a not so happy customer for not letting him risk 2x or 3x or whatever on your trades than having an angry customer because he lost all his capital following your signals. So I believe this is a really good add-on and will help you protect your name and protect accounts of your customers and have less angry customers, basically. Now, another thing is that we made Signal Magician smoother workflow with incorrect M24 login information. Face it, one of the most frustrating moments when setting up a new M24 account for copy trading is to find out that the customer submitted incorrect login credentials. Now, you just log into your service, try to connect a new account, and you see it's login invalid, and you can't do nothing about it. And mistakes happen, we understand it, but still, it is a frustrating everyday experience for some Signal Magician owners, and we have created something to help them. So now, when admin finds out that the M24 login credentials for a particular customer are incorrect, he can notify that customer in just a few clicks, and it's kind of automatically marking these login details as incorrect. So as you go to compose a new message, you choose the incorrect M24 login credentials, and that's a template you can change, obviously, and it will create this template automatically, and you just click send message, and that's all. And by clicking send message, it will mark login credentials of that account incorrect, and every time the customer or yourself view the profile of this customer, it will show there's a warning on top which says that M24 login credentials are incorrect for this user. When the user updates the credentials, this notification will disappear. So the message for the customer is a bit different to match, to make it more understandable, but basically they will be notified by email and if they won't see the email for some reason but log into the panel, they will see this message. So they will know that they have to go and update their details basically. And yeah, what else about that? Yeah, so this is kind of connected with the next one, which is allow searching for customers with missing or incorrect login information. So once you set a login information incorrect, in the search you can choose that you want to see all the users marked with incorrect login credentials, or you can search for customers that are missing login credentials. That is very convenient as well. And you can obviously compose new message to send about missing credentials as well, so that users get reminded that they need to go online and submit their credentials. I would say the best option to prevent this from happening, well, you can't prevent this from happening, that the people sometimes will always someone post incorrect, or they forget to post the credentials. But if you charge a fixed monthly fee upfront, they will be much more interested to go and submit the information to connect their account as soon as possible, basically. Yeah. So another thing is a partners list. This one's really convenient for you, for your partners, for clients. Basically, every customer, every username on Signal Magician can be affiliate, and they are kind of, because everyone will get their invitation code, kind of affiliate link that they can share with others. And this way you can include some of these customers, like usernames, on the partners list, which appears on the registration form. Now we can turn this off if you need, or not. You can turn this on. It's for you to decide, obviously. But if you have affiliate partners sending you customers, you really may want to give an option for your customers to choose an introducing partner on this registration form. It's really simple as that, and really helps. And if for some reason client doesn't click the link you send him, and or he has cookies disabled, he won't be attached to a certain affiliate. But when he's filling the registration form, the form will ask, who introduced you to our business? And he'll have to select which affiliate partner. And you can change the names and of the, it's really customizable. So I really think it will help a lot of businesses. Okay, so, and one more thing for the last is that you can now export user list in a CSV file format. And this function exports the list according to your search fields, like search criteria. It means you can run your search first to find what you're looking for, and then use the export button to export those results into a CSV file. Like in this example, I did a search of all the customers who are online at the moment with a client EA. And by clicking the export CSV, I will get a CSV file with that information, and then I can further use it whatever I want, because there are so many platforms that allows you to import CSV, or you can play around with it and do the necessary things you need in Microsoft Excel or similar programs. Now, as you can see, the new Signal Magician 198 has a variety of new features and improvements, and running a copy trading business is now easier than before. So please tell me in the comments below which new feature you like the most, and write your opinion in the comment section. I would really love to hear your feedback, and I'm really glad that you're using Signal Magician, and I really do hope your business will grow even more with these new features. So thank you for listening, and thank you for hearing me out. And now I really want to to talk more a bit about. Oh yeah, sorry about I forgot about client EA changes. How could I? Yeah, I won't spend much time talking about these. I wouldn't say they are that much of importance as other features. Maybe the biggest one is that client EA now allows a netting on FIFA accounts. This one is for US customers because others won't basically need it. But just a few words about it is netting is that if you have a one lot buy trade and now arrives a sell trade of 0.5 lots, because of the FIFA rules, US trading account cannot open buy and sell trades at the same time. But what can happen if you choose it to with the netting functionality is that it will sell half of the buy trade. If you have a one lot full lot buy trade and half lot sell trade arrives, it would sell 0.5 of that buy trade, so you will be left with a 0.5 buy trade kind of. So I'm sure this will help a lot of US trading accounts, and there are a few other features that mostly appear on the advanced client EA that, as I mentioned above, we are considering to retire it because it's quite complicated. But basically, you can now set it to take profit when the equity grows by X percentage. And yeah, what's more, in the advanced version else allows you to choose what limit, what to do with an account it reaches max trade limit. Previously, it was always to ignore the trades, but now you are allowed to choose whether you want to ignore or delay them. And yeah, and you're also allowed to set client EA to not manage trades open before X date and time, which might be useful for someone, but again, this one's the advanced version. And the simple client version also has, as an advanced one, these two features. I think three. Yeah, this one's that it shows the speed of your computer and internet connection, which is really useful. If you see that it's showing slow, you will know that you'll have to upgrade, downgrade, or whatever, take some action. And also, the leverage of a client account affects the lot size to protect client account capital. So if your client account has leverage of 50 and your master account has a leverage of 200, so because the leverage on a client account is 4 times smaller, the lot sizes will be 4 times smaller as well. So if you copy one lot, it will become a 0.25 because of a smaller leverage. That's to protect accounts capital and not to get a margin call with a one trade, So, and the last one for the client EA is that it can delay to copy trades when the market is closed or brokers perform a rollover. This previously was quite a big problem, because if a client tried to open a trade during a midnight, for example, when the rollover is happening on the broker, it would just ignore the trade. But now it would just delay and wait for the rollover to finish, and then we'll try to copy the trade, of course, if it within the reasonable price deviation and so on. Okay, so what else should I let you know? Okay, so the last thing is that to talk about how to upgrade your Signal Magician. Okay, so this one's important. So first, you have to check if your updates and support service has not expired. If it's active, you get the new Signal Magician for free. If it has expired, you'll have to purchase it. Now, this is more for lifetime users, because the lifetime license, when I was still offering this last year, it was with came with a 1 year or 2 year updates and support, and if this expired, then you'll have to renew it, and if it's not expired, you will get the Signal Magician for free. And if you're on a annual or a monthly plan, you will get the Signal Magician for free as well. So before the upgrade, you'll have to, you should notify your clients about the upcoming software upgrades. So just let them know that they will have to reinstall the client EA to keep using your service, and plan this ahead. Let's say, okay, next weekend or something like that. So but first you schedule the software update with me. So if you can stop trading for a few days, then we can do this upgrade any day, basically any work day, weekend, whatever. But if you cannot stop trading for whatever reason, maybe you have lots of open trades and it will take ages for you to wait for them to close, but so then it is the best to do the upgrade during the weekend when the markets are closed. Now obviously it's even if you have open trades but you say, okay, I can stop trading for a few hours, then we can still do the upgrade any day. Open trades doesn't affect anything, but if you say, oh no, I can't stop trading because anytime there might, a new trade might arrive to add to my grid or whatever, and any of these reasons, I understand there are lots of different strategies. So just want to make it fair for everyone. So then we can just do it on the weekend, but please just schedule this in advance with me, so then you will have to provide me with your web server login information. If this is for a lifetime user, if you're not a lifetime user, that we will just do the upgrade on our service and that's it. And obviously I'll have to have your admin password for your SM panel. Signal Magician web panel will, I'll have to get access. So even, doesn't matter what plan you're in, I will still have to have your admin password. If you don't want to share your admin password, you can create a temporary admin username so that I can access your web panel for the upgrade, and then you can delete that user later on. It's for you to decide. And after you complete the upgrade, you will have to upgrade your server EA first. So when new server EAs are connected and running, you can notify your clients to update the client EAs then. And another important thing I didn't mention in the presentation yet is that even if you're on monthly or annual plan, we don't apply the upgrade automatically. You have to contact me and schedule when's the right time for you to upgrade. I don't want to break your systems or do any harm to your business. So that's why I'm not applying any updates automatically. And it doesn't matter if you get the update for free or have to pay for it, you still have to schedule the upgrade with me, so that nothing breaks. And if you want to do the upgrade yourself, it's perfectly fine with me. So this concerns lifetime users. Just contact me about it, and if you need to purchase updates, you do this. If you don't, just let me know. I will prepare your files and upload to the download center. You get it from there, and you can do the upgrade yourself, or maybe you have a team of IT people, and whatever. It's for you to decide. As usual, I'm trying to be really fit everyone's needs, kind of. Okay, so I'm really glad you stay with me, and thank you for listening, and I really do hope that Signal Magician will help you grow your business even better. So stay tuned for more things, and bye.